the video. So coming on to the first slide, the accumulation of molecular species at the surface rather than in the bulk of a solid or liquid is termed as a adsorption. So basically what happened, there is an accumulation of layer over the surface of a solid, then that process is known as adsorption. And as far as definition of adsorbate and adsorbent is concerned, the molecular species or substance which concentrates or accumulates at the surface is termed as adsorbate. As you guys can see in this video, I have put a picture image also here. You can see a green surface is adsorbent and the red mycel is rounded spherical balls which I have actually made for you is adsorbate. So those liquid substances or the molecular species or substance which concentrates or accumulate at the surface is termed as adsorbate, and the material on the surface of which adsorption takes place is called adsorbent. All right, so these are the two important terms in this surface chemistry if you talk about adsorption. So these two terms are what is adsorbate and what is adsorbent. And what happens when there is a saturation of adsorbate, there are few particles which moves up, so which are known as adsorptive. All right, now here I have described in this slide about the action of the adsorption. Here let's discuss about few gas molecule like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, chlorine, ammonia and sulfur dioxide. When we take these it in a closed vessel containing powdered charcoal, so it is observed that the pressure of the gas in the enclosed vessel decreases, because what happened, the gas molecule which is there in the closed vessel will get absorbed on the surface of the charcoal. So this process, the gas molecules concentrate at the surface of the charcoal, the gases are absorbed at the surface. So in a solution of an organic dye, say methylene blue, when animal charcoal is added and the solution is shaken well, it is observed that the filtrate turns colorless. The molecules of the dye thus accumulate on the surface of the charcoal and get absorbed. All right. So now moving on to the next one. Here I have discussed about in the gas mask also. I have shown the picture diagrams also of the gas mask. So all the gas masks are devices containing suitable adsorbent, so that the poisonous gases present in the atmosphere are preferentially adsorbed and the air for breathing is purified. So what happened, those people who are worked in a very I would say in a dirty environment or a polluted environment, they usually, or the environment where there are poisonous gases, so those actually those people, in case if in a lab they are working where there are poisonous gases, so in this environment, they are scientists or the people, they use normally these masks. So these masks contains actually the silica gel or some activated charcoal which actually adsorb the poisonous gas, and the gas inhaled by them is a purified form. Okay, so through this slide I try to make you clear that what is the actual phenomena through which people actually absorb the purified gas. So aqueous solution of raw sugar when passed over the beds of animal charcoal becomes colorless. It becomes colorless as the coloring substance are absorbed by the charcoal. Gas masks absorbs pollutants. Okay, the air becoming dry in the presence of silica gel because the water molecule get absorbed on the surface of the gel. Now the process, that is desorption, the process of removing an adsorbed substance from a surface on which it is adsorbed by increasing the temperature or using the chemical process. So here you can see those molecules which get adsorbed on the surface of the solid. So when we give the heat or high temperature, the molecules get evaporated, and this process is known as desorption. All right. The next slide is difference between the absorption and adsorption. In adsorption, the substance is concentrated only at the surface, so it is a surface phenomena. Adsorption is a surface phenomena and does not penetrate through the surface to the bulk of the adsorbent, while in the absorption, the substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk. As you have seen, I have shown through this figure also. All right. A distinction can be made between the absorption and adsorption by taking an example of a chalk dipped in a colored ink, and the color due to particles, or absorption while putting in a solution. So through this I have shown this picture where there is a distinction between when you put the chalk in a in a beaker full of color solution. So there is adsorption only at the surface, but when you put it in a ink containing beaker, so what happened, there is a complete adsorption. So there is a difference, you can distinguish between these two through adsorption and absorption. Now here in this slide I have discussed about in the other video. In adsorption, the concentration of the adsorbent increases only at the surface of the adsorbent, while in absorption the concentration is uniform throughout the bulk of the solid. Okay, so this is, you can understand, already I described in terms of chalk. When you put it on a surface, there is adsorption and there is a accumulation of adsorbate only at the surface. However, in absorption there is a homogeneous absorption throughout the surface. Okay, so both adsorption and absorption can take place simultaneously also. The term sorption is used to describe both the processes. All right. And now here I have discussed about the mechanism of adsorption. Very important slide. Inside the adsorbent of all the surface forces acting between the particles are mutually balanced, but on the surface the particles are not surrounded by atoms or molecules of their kind on all sides. Hence they possess unbalanced or residual attractive forces. Here you can see I have shown unbalanced residual forces at the surface, okay, while there is a balanced force inside the bulk. When you talk about inside the bulk, and when you talk about the unbalanced residual forces, so this is what I have written in this slide. These forces of adsorbent are responsible for attracting the adsorbed particles on its surface, and the extent of adsorption increases with the increase of surface area. So adsorption is a process which actually depends upon the surface area. More the surface area, more will be the adsorption. Okay, it is directly proportional to your surface area per unit mass of the adsorbent at the given temperature and pressure. Now another important factor featuring adsorption is the heat of adsorption. During adsorption there is always a decrease in the residual force of the surface. So there is a decrease in the surface energy which appear as a heat. Alright. So adsorption therefore is invariably an exothermic process. In other words, delta H of adsorption is always negative. When a gas is adsorbed, the freedom of movement of its molecules become restricted. This amount to decrease in the entropy of gas after adsorption, that is delta S, is negative. So for a process to be spontaneous, the thermodynamics requirement is that at constant temperature and pressure delta G must be negative. Okay, so as we all know that for a spontaneous process delta G should always be a negative, and there is a decrease in the Gibbs energy also. So on the basis of equation, as we all know the Gibbs energy equation, relation between enthalpy, entropy, temperature, okay, and the Gibbs free energy, that is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, where delta G can be a negative if delta H has a sufficiently high negative value, as minus T delta is always be a positive. Okay, so thus in an adsorption process which is spontaneous, the adsorption has to be spontaneous. हमेशा बच्चों फोकस कीजिए, थोड़ा सा इस चीज़ को समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. The adsorption always has to be spontaneous, so entropy has to be what I have written over here. There's in an adsorption process which is a spontaneous, and the combination of these two factors makes delta G negative. But why it is negative? Understand this point, that it can be negative if delta H has sufficiently high negative value. क्योंकि अगर डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू नेगेटिव होगी तभी जब इसमें माइनस टी डेल्टा एस पॉजिटिव ऐड होगा, ओवरऑल इट विल बी नेगेटिव. So minus T delta S is positive. Okay, so overall delta G will be negative. As the adsorption proceeds, delta H becomes less and less negative. Ultimately, the delta H becomes equal to T delta S, and delta G becomes 0. At this state, there is an equilibrium. What happened? What is the condition? Very important point to remember. बच्चों थोड़ा सा इसको समझिए आराम से, and you guys need to focus on it. The delta H becomes equal to T delta S. Delta H के बराबर delta T S कब हो जाएगा? When there is an equilibrium. All right. So and delta G becomes 0. At this state, equilibrium is attained. Now types of adsorption. There are mainly two types of adsorption of gases or solids. If accumulate of a gas on the surface of a solid occur on the, there is a two types, that is physiosorption and chemisorption. So let me discuss first the physiosorption. Physical adsorption is called physiosorption when the gas molecules or atom are held to the solid surface by chemical bond. The adsorption is termed as chemisorption. What happened? There are two forces. One is van der Waals force. Okay, so when there is a accumulation of gas on the surface of solid, that occurs on account of weak van der Waals force, and the adsorption is known as physiosorption or physical adsorption. Okay, and the second one is when the gas molecules of atom are held to the solid surface by a chemical bond. So what happens, there will be a bond on the surface. Because of chemical bonding, the gas molecules get accumulated on the surface, and that kind of adsorption is known as chemisorption. The chemical bonds may be covalent, ionic, okay, in nature, and chemisorption always involves a high energy of activation, and is therefore often referred to as a activated adsorption. All right, so sometimes these two processes occur simultaneously. It is not easy to ascertain the type of adsorption. A physical adsorption at low temperature may pass into chemisorption as the temperature is increased. So for example, dihydrogen gas is first adsorbed on the nickel by van der Waals forces. Let me tell you an example. Actually, here I have given an example of nickel and dihydrogen gas. Normally in organic chemistry, we have seen so many times there is a reduction, like reduction of nitro group, sorry, not nitrogen, nitro group, NO2 group to amine. So in that case, we are using Raney nickel, that is